Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I would like to thank everybody for the love and support on getting me to 1,000 subs. I greatly appreciate it. It means the world to me. We're heading in the right direction. It also does some positive affirmation as far as that I am doing the right thing when it comes to this. And I greatly appreciate everybody's comments and everything, and I try to help as much as I can. With that being said as well, we have a Discord up now, which I will leave a link in the description for that if you guys want to join that. And also, if you guys don't know, I do live streaming as well on Twitch over at Pope You and the Pope, twitch.tv. Again, that link will be also in the descriptions. Now on to today's video. Today, we're talking about Azurobe, which I don't know how anybody else pronounces it. I know I'm probably butchering it, but I don't care. I call her Azurobe, as your OB. As it reads, can be ridden to travel on water, applies water damage to the player's attacks while mounted. Now this goes in line with our applied damage pals that we've been running, and with the water type specifically, we're running electric on her. With this in particular build as well, I bred a Chillet and a Hell Zephyr that had legend on it from earlier to transfer the IVs and the stats, which I got it pretty quickly. I was actually surprised of how quickly I got it. It was like in less than 50 eggs. I ended up transferring the IVs and that, and we got a little bit better attack power on her as well. We are running Stronghold Strategist, Vanguard, Swift, and Legend. Now I'm hoping that I didn't make a mistake by putting Swift on her, even though she is a bit slower. That does speed her up, but I'm hoping that she has enough defense to be able to have a bit of survivability. To be honest though, judging off of the beginning stuff that we're looking at 100 IVs, we're sitting at 758, so that's a bit low. We're gonna put some souls into her though to get her maxed out. We're gonna do health and the defense. We're not going to put anything into attack. So after we put souls into her, sitting at 985 defense, which we're going to feed her a rush or hot dog just to crank that up a bit more, because again, we're not attacking with her. We're using her to attack off of with the applied water damage. Another thing to note as well, when it comes to water damage and stuff that you can use to increase the damage of said water damage, the lightning effect that ends up going on them is a great way to get double damage off of stuff that say is not necessarily weak to water. As we had explained in our elemental damage stacking video that we did, lightning and water work in the reverse as well, as in if you get something damp and proc the damp effect, then they will then become more susceptible to lightning, and the vice versa. If you proc the lightning effect, then they will become more susceptible to water. Logically, it works that way, but as far as the actual what is strong against what in Power World, it doesn't make too much sense considering that water is weak to lightning. So it's kind of weird that way, the way that if something is damp, it's more susceptible to lightning, or if something is electrocuted, it's more susceptible to water, because water is very weak to lightning. So yeah, other than that, we have maxed her out, as in we have condensed her to a 4-star. We have put souls on her, and our IVs are 100 and 100 with the health and defense, and we got 73 on the attack. But again, we're not really worried about the attack. We're just using the attack to proc the lightning effect. We're also running a jet dragon with 3 gob fins because we need to be able to move places, and Azurobe is not a flyer, so kind of limits your mobility on that instance. When it comes to what I am carrying, I have 2 attack pendants that we will be running. I also am carrying 4 shotguns, and I have a rocket launcher on backdrop for when we test it against some other things. We have also took a mind wipe and statted ourselves with 5 points into health, which brought us up to 1,000, and then we put the rest into attack power. So we're sitting at 404 right now. Put our other attack pendant on here. We got 423, and we will be eating a burger before we go and attack anything. We'll give Azerobe a rush or hot dog, fed her 2, whoops. But now we're sitting at 1,182 defense, which is pretty good, and we're at 6,626 health, so not too shabby for that. At 100 IVs, that's your maximum potential with defense and then also a food buff behind it. If we would have switched Swift out for early body, it may have been a little bit better, but we are rocking Stronghold Strategist, Vanguard, Swift, and Legend. And like I said, between Stronghold Strategist and Swift, they can be interchanged with Burly Body or some other speed perk if you want to go all speed, or if you want to go all defense, then go with the Burly Body and stronghold strategist, or if you want to go with a mix between burly body and swift, that way you have more defense off of the actual pal, or if you want to go stronghold strategist and swift like I did here, then you have speed and defensive properties for yourself. First one we're going to test her on is Blazing Mutt, which this should be very quick. I'm pretty sure with the rocket launcher I could one hit him. We'll feed myself a burger. So we are sitting now at 564 attack. Do what we can do here. Let's see if we can proc some lightning on him as well. We'll do a spark blast first. Well, we didn't even need to proc lightning. We just one hit him. So let's try to proc it a little bit, but it did not want to go. So what we'll do now is we'll test her against Frost Stallion, as she is not strong or weak to Frost Stallion. See if we can get some electric to proc and then be able to do quite a bit more damage. I actually forgot that she is also dragon and water. So she is actually weak to ice. So we'll see how well she does against this. This might not be a great thing to do, but we'll go ahead and hit her with the old lightning bolt first. She does not seem to want to do that. There we go. She is still electrocuted. Yeah, see, that's a whole lot more damage. Took a while to actually get it to proc electric, but yeah. All in all, Frost Stallion is now dead. It took a while to proc that. There's not very many good lightning skills that can proc it very easily. Spark Ball is pretty slow and it doesn't proc it near as often. Your best bet is to go with kind of this lineup here. Maybe even try Lightning could help out, or Lightning Streak could probably do a little bit better as well. But I have Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike, and Spark Blast to try to keep that in there. Lost a decent amount of health, but not too bad for what it's worth. I've lost more with other pals, so, and for a pal that's limited to ground movement, yeah, we did pretty well with that. All right, so we'll test her against Jet Dragon here, see if we can get a better lightning proc here. Whoop. Nope, still didn't want to proc it. Now it is proc. There we go. First rocket did almost 6 grand. Still electrocuted. Now he's not. We are overweight. That's not good. But she is dragon, so she is taking less damage from that, it seems. She's tanking it pretty well, however, I am not. Well, there you go. I caught on fire. She ended up doing pretty well against that, though. Big disadvantage, though, of getting overweight whenever you are like this, especially going against Jetragon. There's so many rocks that you can hit and trees and everything to drop down and accidentally run over and overweight yourself are probably one of the bigger annoyances. One thing that I will mention as well, you don't need to have the legendary weapons like this. The regular shotgun and the regular rocket launcher will work just as well. I mean, of course, you're going to be doing about 4 grand less damage as far as the initial attack power, but you'll still be doing enough attack to where it's not bad to use. So don't be discouraged if you don't have the legendary weapons set up like this. You can still use the blues are really good, and even the greens. I mean, anything that's up there, even the regular common versions that you can build yourself are not bad. So with this one, the rocket launcher is going to become a little bit more prevalent. It's the reason why I say specifically that you don't necessarily need the legendary rocket launcher. It's just a better version of it, is because the rocket launcher does so much stagger damage to the world bosses that are out in the open. They do not affect tower bosses, though, as I will state that they do not affect the tower bosses, but any of the world bosses, they stagger so much that it prevents them from attacking, which allows you to attack even more. So if you shoot the rocket launcher, run through a volley of shotgun, go back to the rocket launcher, reload, kind of dodge around and stuff, then you're going to be doing pretty good stuff. But we're going to be testing her now against Paldius and Necromus. Oh, I missed. Terrible shot on my part. And there you go. So all in all, is Azurobe worth it? Again, this is one that I'm going to say yes and no. This really depends on how you are playing and how you want to go about certain things. I say yes because it is the only applied damage with water pal that you can get as far as your personal damage, the player's damage itself that is changed to water. It is the only one. Azurobe is also a good alternative to the Yormantide, and you get her early enough to where you can get an early watering 3 is what she starts out with. I mean, she's level 17. You get her super early, especially the boss version. And if you want to, you can actually go down over here on this island on the lower part, and they spawn down here as low as level 20. So you can farm the boss itself to get a good one, or you can actually go down here once you are to a decent level, say like 15 to like 20, something like that, to go over here and pick up one as well. One also added benefit of Azerobe is the elemental damage stacking ability, with the electric effect being placed onto other pals that you're going against, and then the water damage that goes behind it being a double damage proc. That is very good. You can do the same thing though with having a Fox Parks with Seed Mine or any type of grass attack at that point to proc Ivy Cling to then get them wrapped up and being doing double damage to them as well. But some things that are early on that are grass pals are not going to be able to be wrapped. So this is a good alternative for that, to be able to then get them electrocuted and be able to do water damage off the back. Say that you're early on, you got a musket, you electrocute them, hit them with the water attack off of the back of Azerobe, and boom, you got a lot of damage that you're doing there. But yeah, with Blaze Him Up being fire, he is weak to water. If you electrocute him and then hit him with water attacks, then he's going to be taking quadruple damage, which is really, really good, especially if you're trying to go after him extremely early to catch him. And he he is a really good firepower to be on the back of. Ragnarok, I would say, is a little bit better than Blazemut, but as far as enhanced damage between the Blazemut and the Sezaku, those are probably your two best bets. The Pyron is also a honorable mention in that as well when it comes to applied fire damage. I really don't like Wixen when it comes to applied fire damage because it's a POW that you have to throw out. So you're going to be doing, after they're both maxed out, between the riding ones and the ones that you're fighting beside, the riding ones are going to be getting 20% extra damage on top of what you already have. And then the ones that you're fighting beside are going to be only at 10%. So you're losing 10%, not that much, but at the same time, that is a disadvantage. And the other disadvantage is the fact that you cannot control what they're doing. So the Wixen could be out, but then she could start phase tanking the boss that you're trying to go after and end up getting killed. And then you lose your fire damage and then you have to back off. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that it's worth it to have because again, it's the only one that can apply the water damage to the player's attacks. And it can be mounted. So that's a plus. I believe that she is the fastest water mount that you can get. And with Swift, as you can see, we were able to dodge the attacks pretty well. I was actually surprised with that. I thought that she was going to be a lot slower, but she's not too shabby with that. And then also with the defense, we're sitting at a pretty good number here. After she hit level 50, we're at 1200 with the Rush or Hot Dog. So having Burly Body on her would crank it up even more, but then you're going to be having to move a whole lot slower than if you have Swift on there. If you wanted to, you could actually trade out Stronghold Strategist for Burly Body and have the best of both worlds, have speed and survivability as well if you were breeding for this. But Vanguard and Legend are a main staple in these builds when it comes to applied damage, so definitely keep that in mind. The other two are kind of whatever you want to run. So yes, if you guys enjoyed my content, drop a sub. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like and write down in the comments down below what you think of Azurobe and how bad I'm butchering her name if you think it's pronounced something else or some other way. Other than that, keep your willy washed and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.